Welcome to Study Loop.
Okay, this is question 5.66. We have a box sliding with constant speed of 4 meters per second. Write that here, 4 meters per second. And it, at first, is on a horizontal frictionless surface, but then at x equals 0, the box encounters a rough patch, and the surface becomes rougher. So the coefficient of friction between x equals 0 and x equals 2 meters, the coefficient of friction is 0.2. And then from from x equals 2 meters to x equals 4 meters, the coefficient of kinetic friction is 0.4. Now we are asked, what is the x-coordinate of the point when the box comes to rest? So let's think about what's happening here. We have the box is moving at some constant speed, and then it hits a rough patch. So that rough patch is going to exert some frictional force, and the friction force is going to cause a deceleration of that box so that eventually it's slowing down, and then it's going to hit the second rough patch, which is going to decelerate it even more. And we're told that it comes to rest, which means that some point in that second rough patch, past 2 meters, the box is going to stop and come to rest. So we want to figure out first the distance that the box travels, so the x-coordinate of the point where the box comes to rest. So to do that, we're going to need some kinematic equations. So here I've written down this one. We have I'm going to split up the two parts from x equals 0 to x equals 2. And then the part where x equals 2 to x equals 4, I'm just going to call that past 2 meters, because we don't actually know how far the box is going to be traveling through that part. So let's start by figuring out the velocity of the box after it's gone through this first rough patch. So we can use this equation here. Because we know the initial velocity, we are going to find the acceleration in a second from the friction force. And then we know the distance because it's traveling 2 meters here. So this is going to let us figure out what velocity the box is traveling when it hits this second rough patch. So let's think about this acceleration here. We know that the force acting on this box is going to be the friction force. And the friction force is going to have a magnitude of mu k1 times the mass times gravity. This is 9.8. So this will be, and this of course is going to be equal to our mass times acceleration. This is just sum of forces is mass times acceleration, and this is the only force acting on the block in the x direction. So I can just set up this equation like this, and the factors of m are going to cancel out. So that's going to give us the acceleration equal to mu k1 times g. So this is the acceleration from this first part. So maybe I'll even call this A1 to specify that this is the acceleration for this first part. Now, remember, if we let's say that the block is moving to the right, this is going to be a deceleration because it's slowing the block down. So we're going to make this negative just to explicitly show that this is slowing down the block. So when we plug into our equation here, we're going to have our final velocity. This is what we want to find. Our V0 is 4. And our A, again, we're going to make this term negative. And then we're going to have mu k1 times g, this times g. And then our distance is 2 meters. So we can plug in, let's plug in 9.8 for this. Let's plug in 0.2 here. And so to solve for VF, we just want to take the square root of this side here. And we plug in everything, we should get that VF is equal to 1.79 meters per second. So from this first rough patch, this velocity has slowed from 4 meters per second all the way down to 1.79 meters per second. So we can be pretty sure, since the second patch is even rougher, it's going to slow down even more than that, which means it's really just going to come to a stop. So we know at this point that past x equals 2 meters, it's just going to be slowing down to a stop. So let's do this again for our second part. So now this is going to be a2, and our starting velocity now, so our starting velocity is going to be whatever the velocity came, whatever speed the box came in with. So that's actually going to be our 1.79 here. So we're going to have this 1.79 as our initial velocity. Just going to plug that in specifically here. And our final velocity is actually just going to be 0 because we know that the box is going to come to a stop. So we want to figure out what this distance is, how far into the second rough patch the box is actually traveling. So again, we can set up our same equation. This is our friction force, except now we have mu times k, mu k2, since this is the second rough patch. So this is going to give us A2. I'll clarify here that this was A1. So our A2, again, the factors of m are just going to cancel out. So A2 is just going to be mu K2 times G. And so now we can plug in here, plug in our mu K2, and we're trying to find D here. Oh, and again, this is going to be negative because we're decelerating here. So we can just rearrange and solve this. And when we rearrange and solve this, we should find that this distance is equal to 0.41. So why don't I go through and just explicitly say we're going to have D1 here. This is our D2 in all of these. So to be totally explicit, our D1 here was 2 meters because it's traveling 2 meters. Our D2 here is going to be 0.41 meters. So our total distance, I'll write that over on the side here, is going to be D1 plus D2, and that's going to give us our x component. So our total distance is going to be 2 plus 0.41, so that's going to be 2.41 meters, and that's going to give us our x coordinate since it's starting at x equals 0. So this is going to be the distance that the box travels before it comes to rest. So part B asks us how much time does it take the box to come to rest after it first encounters the rough patch. So now we have to figure out the time for each of these. And then again, we're going to find the total time is T1 plus T2. So to figure out the time, we want to use our equation, the distance, so we'll say D1 is equal to the starting velocity of a times t plus 1/2 a t squared. And again, this is going to be a1. So here we have t1, t1. So to find, here we want to find t1. So we're just going to plug in everything that we know here. So we know 2 is equal to d, d1 is equal to 2. V0 is going to be equal to 4. And we're going to have A1, we found is this. We can plug this in directly if we want. So I'll just leave these as variables for now, but these are all numbers that we know. And then we have T1 squared. So this is now a quadratic equation. You can solve this however you prefer. We could use the quadratic formula. When we solve this, I'm not going to do out the algebra, but we should get that T1 here is equal to 0.45 seconds. And now we can do the same thing for the second time. Now we have D2, T2, A2, and T2. Now our V0, remember, is going to be the starting velocity here, which is 1.79. So this is the important change here. D2 is 0.41, A2 is our value here, and we're solving for T2. Again, we're going to get a quadratic equation. I won't go through the actual solution, but we should get 0.19 seconds. So finally, when we go through here to get the total time, we should have 0.45 plus 0.19, and that's going to give us total time equal to 0.64 seconds.